Morning, ladies and gentlemen. This morning we have Mr. Lim Boon Ping, the President of MIEA and the Director of Training and Development at Kim Realty here with us. Good morning, Mr. Lim. How are you?
Morning, Ernest. Thanks for having me.
Now, Mr. Lim, you've been a real estate agent for some time right now. Can you tell us a little bit about your background before you ascended into the presidency of MIEA this year?
Well, in short, I grew up in a real estate agency family. My father is one of the first batch registered estate agents those days. So mainly due to his influence, I was sent to New Zealand to do a Bachelor of Property in Valuation. Then that's how I started. After that, about 20 years ago, I've gotten my registered estate agency authority to practice license. And now I'm in KL with Kim Realty. And I've been with the board of directors of Malaysian Estate Agents, Malaysian Institute of Estate Agents for the past 18 years, I think, 17 or 18 years continuously, before I became the national president last year, July.
Is there a big difference between running a state and national boards?
Very different, very different. Don't get me wrong. MIEA, we have very strong states committee. We have the state in Johor. We have states in Perak, Penang, Sabah, and Sarawak. So they are all very strong right now. But seriously, if you really compare to the activities conducted between the states and national, of course, it's a lot of difference. So the state will be on a very smaller scale basis, and they are targeting more on their own states people only. But national, all the decisions we make, all the things that we do, we are doing for everyone. Especially this round, MIEA actually has moved all our activities online. Online training, online seminar, online forum, everything we have moved online starting on the second day of movement control order. So we reacted very fast. And all this is actually from initiative from the HQ, because all our state branch would not have all these resources to do so and to react so quickly.
Now, when you ascended your presidency, there was definitely a change that you wanted to institute to bring this up to the forefront, to digitize things. How has this MCO period altered your plans, or have they increased the urgency to do so, or have they shown that this one must be done?
MCO, when I first took office on the 1st of July last year, in my incoming president's message, I stressed on one single thing. I wanted to create value for all MIEA members, and in order to achieve that, I will do it through by way of using technology to enhance our professionalism service to our client. And just for your information, MIEA is currently partnering up with several, not just one, but several strategic technology partners to come out with different apps that we think is going to help making the professional service of estate agents or negotiators to be a lot more better. I think there's the two things that we actually launched during the last MAREC Summit. The first one is actually what we call the MIEA agent data, which we're going to have two layers of property transaction data for the people. The first is, of course, the conventional past transaction by the Jabatan Penilaian and Perkhidmatan Harta. But we have a second layer, which is what we call agent data. So as you probably know, the first layer of past transaction data, basically many people has it. Yeah, many Brickstock has it. Many people has it. And there's only one single problem with this data. This data is at least 3 to 4 months lag. Yeah, because by the time this data reaches BPH and published out, it's already 3 to 4 months lag. But MIEA agent data, our second layer, which is the transaction data which we are going to collect directly from our members. So we have more than 6,000 members nationwide right now. So what we are going to do is we are going to have an incentive program to ask all our negotiators or our members to submit to us the moment they, let's say today you have closed a deal, you collected an earnest deposit of 10,000 for one particular property, we will request you to submit this transaction to us. And then from there, we will actually have a mechanism to follow through with you until the signing of sale and purchase agreement process. So basically, our layer 2 of data here will be at about 2 to 3 weeks late only, rather than the 3 to 4 months late. So you're going to have a very timely transaction data from MIEA from now on. But of course, this will take a little bit of time to really build it up. But once the traction is there, I strongly believe this will be one of the very, very strong position that's going to give it to MIEA. So that's one, this MIEA agent data. Then we also launched the MIEA loan check. As you all know, the one of the biggest challenge in the market right now is people still can close sale, but their client cannot get loan. Or sometimes and they are among all the biggest complaint, they go to the board every month right now is all about the disputes between giving back or refunding of earnest deposit due to loan rejection. So in order to solve this problem, we identify this major problem, this pain point. So we pair up with Phenology to come out with this MIEA loan check, where everyone now, let's say you are one agent is sitting down with your customer, and the customer is right in front of you. He's considering to buy, but he's not sure whether his loan can be approved or not. What you can do is open this MIEA loan check apps, key in some information, then a link will be sent to your customer sitting right opposite you. Let him fill in some information. Then within 10 minutes, your client, you will be getting 17 bank pre-approved loan package.
That sounds fantastic, Mr. Lim. It just shows as well that you guys are digitizing quite a bit.
Exactly, and this is only the first two that we are starting. The next one that we are going to launch very soon is a B2B platform. So we acknowledge the importance of a B2B platform due to many reasons. Number one, to give you an example, I personally wanted to buy my family, we wanted to buy some property recently. Every time we go onto the property portal, finding listings, I'm telling you, the listings that came out on the first page, on the second page, 50% of it are fake listings. Either fake in terms of price or fake in terms of pictures. You can hardly see anything genuine inside. So this will definitely not help to make a professional industry. So what we are doing is we are coming out with a B2B platform. So why B2B? Is agent-to-agent platform where we will actually strongly encourage co-agency. Now, especially on this kind of timing, rather than you going out to go and find buyers by doing all the marketing yourself, why not you just put put your listing up onto a platform where all the other agents can see directly and work with you. Maybe they already have work with you for those who already have already buyers. So it will actually cut short many things. And very importantly, this what we call this MIEA MLS system. MLS system is going to be zero. I'm repeating this. It's going to be zero fake listing. So all the listing inside, is 100% genuine, and all the information is 100% correct because it's going to be managed by MIEA. So all these people are between agent and agent are going to able to come to this very reliable platform to close deals together. So this is the next thing we are going to launch really, really soon.
Well done. Now, Mr. Lim, coming back to the present situation over here, how have you seen this particular situation affecting the business of agencies and negotiators as a whole? Do you have a sense of what's happening around the market?
Yeah, actually, the moment when the movement control order has been announced, MIEA is flooded with a lot of inquiries, queries, questions. So let's talk about a few things that is going to limit our work. First of all, you can't do physical viewing. So when you can't do physical viewing, everything becomes very hard because chances are when people buying property, people would like to go and physically view it. because buying property is not, it's not like going to the wet market. You can pick up a choice sum, and every choice sum is no other, it's the same as any other choice sum. But property, the basic principle of property is every property is unique in its own way. So no physical viewing, this will become a problem. And then we have a lot of questions that comes in to MIEA and say, can our tenant move in or not? Can the owner move out or not? Can the vacant position be handing over during this period or not? Now we are very sure it's definitely no, because the moment you want to move in, move out, you want to hand over any vacant position, there could be some person, you need to go and meet people. No, everything must be contactless. You're supposed to only stay at home. You cannot do all this. Yeah. And then the next thing is people say is the signatory, the physical signatory. Now, one thing some agent may not realize is, according to National Land Code, all the property dealings in Malaysia must be in writing. And when they say in writing, they are referring to physical signatory. So basically, physical signatory on any legal documentation with regards to property is very crucial. And some people doesn't realize this. I saw many agents start to get a lot of digital signatory from their client right now. Now, I would say some of I would say this digital signatory can be challenged because digital signatory is not admissible evidence in the court yet, at least not in Malaysia. So this will further cripple their doing things. So if you ask me, 100%, you won't be able to see any sale and purchase agreement or tenancy agreement being signed, unless these people is going to go against the MCO, okay, which definitely we ask them not to. So no SMP and tenancy agreement is going to be signed during this period. So effectively zero sales. So this is another limitation. And then of course, for not being able to meet up, you also limit your rapport, especially with the new client. Agents every day, when you want to generate new leads, when you want to get to know new people, all this is a human touch thing. Agency is always a human touch business. So you cannot go and meet your new client. You can't generate the rapport with them. I think all these things is limiting us right now. But adding to the physical, the digital signatory, some people are getting the instruction letter, appointment letter to sign digitally. Actually, personally, I feel this one may be okay. But of course, until it is challenged at the court. But one thing for sure is the property dealings, meaning the definition of property dealings in other national land code includes things like transaction, charge, discharge, caveat, things like that. So all these things must be physical. So maybe the appointment letter in a digital way should be fine.
Right. So hopefully this thing will not drag on for too long, because if it does drag on for too long, then a lot of things will be stuck.
Exactly. Breaking off.
Yeah. Can I just also check with you with regard to this present situation? How do the negotiators and the agents keep themselves busy and also their pipeline full? Because if, for instance, you say you cannot meet people, you cannot go out to meet people, how is MIEA helping these agents and negotiators to upskill, reskill, retool, and still at the same time still keep their prospects warm?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, MIEA has started a lot of online forum, online training, and I think let me probably summarize few things for the negotiators with regards to MCO. This is probably what they should be looking at, and this is probably what they should be doing. First of all, you must understand the shift. There is no such thing as good or bad market. There is only a market that shifts. So sometimes it's an owner's market. Sometimes it's a balanced market. Sometimes it will shift to buyer's market. And every shift will eventually lead to a market adjustment. So what happening right now is there will be a market adjustment, okay? Then after you start understanding what is the shift right now, example, now is a buyer's market, then you have to start understand who is your main target during the shift time. Example, during owner's market, you may want to focus on finding more buyers, because owner's market, owner will work. There's a lot of owners having a good bargaining power in their price, so it's harder to find buyers. Then now during buyer's market, you should start doing a lot of prospecting, finding more motivated seller. Okay, so more sellers will be become more motivated right now to sell. There will be a lot more negotiable. So this is the time. And then you have to start seeing technology as an enabler rather than a disruption. Learn how to make use of technology to create value in yourself, to make our service to our client better. And there are so many things that we all can learn. MIEA has recently done a lot of topics. We have done topics on customer relationship management program. We have done topics on video making. So, and then we have done topics on how you can even do project marketing at home. Can you believe it? You can actually do project marketing at home. So some people start asking, how come? How come when you are sitting at home, you can still do project marketing? Just imagine this. If you are selling a product such as Prima, if you are selling a product such as Prima, which has got a lot of very detailed information given by the developer, by the government, and people to buy it, and at a very affordable pricing, a very good discount, many buyers will actually don't mind commit to buying it even during MCO, because they know the product won't go too far. Okay, so there is still a possibility. So I think there is a lot of things that we can actually learn here, and MIEA has really giving out all these ideas every day on what they can learn. But more importantly is this: after they listen to all this, they must start doing. Absolutely. They cannot be forever sitting down there and listen.
Absolutely.
And there is one agent, Yao Long. He actually pointed out one very important thing. He said you cannot be forever doing all this Zoom training. You have to start asking your people, the negotiator, to start closing sales. And it is possible for agents to still closing any sales this time, even during MCO. Why? Because remember, this MCO suddenly came, but what about all those viewing that you have done previously, right before MCO? So those people already viewed, so you can go and connect to them and follow up, and people can still close case, especially for those cases you have already viewed. And true enough, Yao Long was saying that his company managed to close few cases these 2 days, which is fantastic. I think these are the mindset that we must learn from all these market leaders and positive-minded people.
Lim, can I ask you, post MCO, where do you see the new normal being, and where do you see the new negotiator in terms of the skills that's required for the future? So in the past, maybe before technology, it was very relationship, it's very one-to-one, it's very personable. But moving forward, when you have a more diverse globalization opportunity, where you have buyers from all around the world coming in, where do you see the skills of the new negotiator have to be in to take advantage of that?
I think some people commented on my wall last night. Actually, he said, now, more real estate practitioners are more willing to embrace themselves to digital and the social media world, which I totally understand. This couple of years, even though social media and digital is already so important, but you still see a lot of agents are not doing it. A lot of agents are not using it. Okay, so they know, but they don't feel it yet. There are many of them still like to base on the traditional method of selling. But no, don't get me wrong. This group of agents, they still will advertise online. Okay, they still pay advertise online because they got no choice. Printed media, hardly any readers today. So they have to go digital and marketing. This part they still do, but other than this part, they are not really using it. Let me just give you an example. How many agents actually use social media to do branding exercise? Many agents doesn't understand the importance of branding. Many agents only know how to sell. So what they don't realize is this: the moment when you have branded yourself, let's say I manage to use, example, if I manage to use social media to brand myself as the go-to agent in one particular locality, then everyone will just come to me whether or not they know me or not, because that is branding. So I think people now will have to start embrace further and to really make full good use of what social media marketing is all about. And more importantly is things like branding, right? All things like video making. Yeah, all these things is something that all agents should start doing right now. And I actually started to see few negotiators started doing their branding videos nowadays. Or some agents started making their 360 property videos. Okay, they have to get ready all this thing. And then, like you mentioned just now, the world is now become borderless, right? So sometimes we have the more and more international buyer when it comes in. So if you know how to make a property 360 video, a simple property 360 video, that will really help. That will really help, because you don't expect people to come in to, every time they see something interesting, they will have to fly in from overseas to come and view. So we want to encourage digital viewing. Okay, digital viewing is another thing that we want to encourage the agent to do. So I would say the new norm is definitely digital again, but is something that you have to embrace it further, to do more digital and the social media marketing.
The skills that they currently have now, like for instance, being approachable, being able to have facts and data on hand, to be able to connect, to find the buyer and find the seller and make the deal marry. What are the present skills, aside from digital, what are the present skills that's still applicable moving forward? Then they need to actually add on to the digital side to make it work. I mean, can you just excel in digital and therefore you will win as a negotiator and agency?
No, I think in the end of the day, agency, it is still a human touch business. We need human contact to really make things happen. So I would put it this way. Let me quote what Sheldon said during our MIEA summit before. He said, technology is not a disruption. You have to look at technology as enabler. So having all this digital and social media thing is not going to replace whatever we are doing today. It is just making whatever we are doing today, right now, make it better, easier, more fluid. This is how I look at it. Whatever we're doing today, please still continue doing it, but just write on the technology to make things easier.
Mr. Lim, because also of this MCO and the shift in the economics and the headwinds in the economy, whereby a lot of SMEs right now are facing a lot of challenges, do you see a rise in the number of people wanting to become negotiators? And do you think that being a negotiator or an agent could be the answer and solution for them to actually build a new livelihood or a second career, so to speak?
You are referring to after MCO?
Yes, after MCO, because a lot of SMEs are having a lot of headwind challenges and they may not necessarily have enough finances to continue.
Yeah. Possible. I would say we can actually. I think in today's market, everyone is looking for a second or third or even passive income. So you probably start seeing people go into doing not just real estate agency. There may be more people go and do insurance. By the way, I actually think insurance is one of the best performer right now, even during MCO, because insurance industry accepts digital signatory, and their product is not unique. Their product is generic. So all insurance agents sure can perform very well right now. And then people will go and even do some MLM. I think, I would say yes. Many people will be looking at real estate as well as secondary income sources. But they have to bear in mind one thing, that under the Malaysian, under our rule, we are not supposed to take on part-timers. Okay,
those-
if you want to do real estate agency, you have to be full-time.
For those who actually are interested in making the jump, Mr. Lim, can I just ask you, what are the most important things to consider when they want to take this jump into full-time real estate agency and negotiation?
Okay, they have to ask themselves one question, just only one question. Would they be able to survive? Would they be able to survive if they have zero sales for the next 6 months?
Why 6 months, can I ask? Why is the quota of 6 months the duration?
Oh, from our experience, it will take minimum 6 months to a year to really prove if someone were to be able to be successful in real estate, at least 6 months to a year. So
Right.
they have to be prepared for this 6 months to a year window.
Right, okay. And last question, Mr. Lim, before I let you go, and I know that you're very busy today, I wanted to actually ask you with regard to agencies of the future. Do you see that there'll be more agencies of the future, or do you see a consolidation of agencies due to digitalization becoming the platform that everybody else can tap into?
Let me just put digital aside first. Let me just put digital aside first. I think in our industry right now, we are looking at two major trends. Number one, I'm talking about survival. Number one is you are going to see the existence and the creations of the giants. Just like Singapore, there will be few giants in the market. Yeah, this is definitely happening, and we see this coming even a few years ago, and it is already happening. You're going to see few giants in the market. And then secondly, if you don't join the giant, then you have to become specialized. You need to be a boutique firm. A boutique firm, they only specialize on certain corporate deal. A boutique firm, they only do hotels. A boutique firm who only do industrial. You need to be a boutique firm and specialize. So we definitely see these two happening right now in the market. If you are somewhere in the middle, you'll feel very, very tough, very, very challenging. Not because of MCO, not because of digital, but simply because of how the market is moving.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Lim, for spending this morning with us. Thank you so much for sharing also your thoughts. And lastly, we wish you all the very best and all the fellow agencies and negotiators in taking this forward, and for your great work at the MIEA as president.
Ernest, can I have one summary conclusion?
Sure, go ahead.
So I would like to tell this to all the real estate practitioners out there. Change is inevitable. So the speed of your adaptability to the change will eventually determine your success. Thank you very much, Ernest.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Mr. Lim. You take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.